Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's enjoy a couple of tier 10 games while we can. Two amazing tanks. The Leopard, and then one not so amazing, the Patton. But we're going to enjoy them before the shit show begins. And it's Johnny Jump. And he's on the map that I love to jump. Actually, if I spawn in the south. Legen Velos, which I think in German means you have to restart the replay because WarGaming does not have sound on the replay files anymore. Hopefully in the big new update, biggest update in World of Tanks history, they'll fix the sound. But okay, tier 10. There's no tier 11s yet. And I did those videos about the tier 11s. Learn to drive, buddy. What's he doing? The Grenade! Sorry, he says. Why the hell did the Grenade shoot him? Good move, Grenade. No harm done. This guy needs to drive. He's being an ass. We're featuring an ass. Let's call him what he is so far. So far he's being an ass. And the ass loads some HE and does a lot of damage on a poor helpless light tank who wants to die. The MX-13-105 has spotted him. He's not spotted. That's a replay bug. And that's it. I guess he doesn't want to leave. He's saying, well, my game's over, so I don't care. I'm just going to sit here, take it like a man. But some of you have, well, you guys had a lot of fun with my no BS review of the new tier 11s and the patch update. A couple of comments. Some people, not many, but a few said, hey, well, why are you so negative all the time? Every time you do a video on an update or something new, you're negative. And that's not true. I'm sometimes positive. But I'm negative when I think it's negative. And because this is the No BS channel, I don't cater to babies or 12 and 13-year-olds that are addicted to the game and want to reinforce their belief that it's a good idea to spend a lot of money in this game so they can be really good. And watch babies. Tell them that, oh, wait a minute. Another asshole has showed up. That's what this game is about, really. No BS channel? It's all assholes. Generally, it's all self-indulged assholes. Not you who are watching. I'm sure if you're watching, you would work together with your teammates to coordinate a plan of attack and show cooperation. I'm sure that's the case. But as far as I'm not going to go through it all again because I did it in a couple of videos. But the bottom line is, if you watch my video from a few days ago, it's just math. It's just math. Do more damage faster, games last less time. That's math, right? So that's what's going to happen, and that's usually what WarGaming concentrates on in their updates because they are catering to the whales that still play this game. They're not catering to or trying to promote to new players and entice new people to join the game. The people that are playing this game now, plus or minus, I'm generally speaking here, the vast majority that are going to play this game over the next 5 years are already playing. And if you did a graph of who's going to play this game in the next 5 years, it's not going to be a million new people that have never played before. It's going to be the people that have already researched all the tech trees, all the tier 10s, and they got those tier 11s and they're ready to shit on people. It's just it's a natural progression. This is not us berating WarGaming. This is just reality, right? This is just the way it is. It's just the normal progression of a game. And another asshole. He's just trying to pull up beside you this time. And that's where he says, no! So, knowing that, WarGaming has no choice. They can't, introduce stuff that's worse. Who's going to get excited about grinding a new tech tree line that's balanced? That's worse than what's already out there. That won't increase the power creep. They tried that, right? Didn't they introduce the French heavy line before it was kind of buffed? The one without the autoloader, and who the hell wants to grind that, right? And then the Chinese TDs, well, they tried introducing balanced stuff or semi-balanced stuff. It doesn't sell. It just doesn't work. It's because of the consumer. We're the consumers. We don't. If you've been playing for 10 years already, I want to research another crap line. Russian Cloak of Dispersion in active as we speak. So they gotta come out with something new, bigger, stronger, faster, knowing full well that it'll wreck the game. But that's okay, because the whales will be playing those. The whales will be playing those tier 11s. They'll be the ones that are zooming around, crapping on the people who just start the game. And that's okay, because if you're just starting the game, you can for free get a tier 10 that they can crap on. You don't have to do the full grind. You can get a tier 10 for free and suck so the whales can have fun. Whales. If you don't know what that means, that's just a slang term for the people that are the biggest customers, right? WarGaming's biggest customers. A premium account, premium plus, loot boxes, money, 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 money. Cha-ching! The people that spend money. Whales. There's a minuscule amount of people now that start this game and start at tier 1. Spend some time and then go to tier 2 and learn all the tanks in tier 2. Remember the old days when Jingles used to do a full 27-minute garage review of a tier 2? Remember the T18, the video? You remember the video? I've got a mind like a steel trap, guys. I remember the exact video. There was that the turretless, was it an American turretless TD? That was a seal clubber at tier 2. It could one-shot people. And no one could pen it with those little machine guns that used to exist 14 years ago. Except for one little weak spot, the band on the upper plate, right? Whenever you played that game in tier 2 and you'd come up and, oh, there's a T18! Oh, I got you! And you'd die. And no one... And it was important then because people played those tiers and you needed to grind them. And sometimes you kept your favorite tier 2 because it was fun. The game was just beginning. We were learning. We were a new audience. And the Mighty Jingles, I remember he did a video. 26-minute, I might be exaggerating by a few minutes, Jingles. 26-minute in-garage review of the T18. Weak spots, gun parameters, reverse speed, terrain resistance. Actually, I don't think the Jingles knew anything about terrain resistance then. He would be playing the game and saying, why is my T18 not going that fast? It says it should go 46, but I'm only going 37. Dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. That was before we knew there was terrain resistance. Right? So, those were the days when it was critical that the game was fun and new content was provided that was balanced, and they eventually... Then they nerfed the T18 because it was too powerful. You had to learn the weak spot. All that stuff, right? But that's not the case anymore. No one gives a shit about tier 2, or tier 1, or 3, or 4, or 5. Maybe tier 6 or 7s, some tier 5s people care about. But the whales, the people that have even played for 14 years, oh, there's new tier 11s, and the videos are already out, right? Have you seen the WCs? Like, I hate to say, I hate to continually berate and belittle them, but, you know, talk about a sales job. Oh, I just played a few games and I'm already averaging 10,000 damage with my new tier 11 tank. Oh, you gotta get one. Like, come on. 2 all beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a sesame seed bun. Get yourself one. And we promise it won't be squished with a thumbprint on it. And the sauce will not have made the box soggy like the last one you bought. This time we're not lying. It's going to be really good. You should get one. It's all sales and marketing, right? So I watch those WC videos now. It's like watching Ronald McDonald trying to sell hamburgers. So, that's just the way it is. And so when you ask me, why do you, if you're reviewing something, why are you negative? Well, that's not, I'm not being negative. I'm telling you I think I was no BS, truthful. And we missed your game, really, and I'm not going to look at the post-game stats because, let's face it, you started the game, you behaved like an asshole. See? No BS on this channel. And I'm going to explain to you why I did the review I did. They added new content. I said that was good. But it's too powerful, and it's going to increase power creep, and therefore it's going to make the games less competitive because you do damage faster, you churn through the HP faster, the games don't last as long, and that's just math. And I'm going to make the bold prediction here. I said I wouldn't talk about the new update, but I guess we are. The bold prediction is it's a terrible update. And it's not well thought out. And it's going to backfire. Because if you really look at it, there's not a lot of new content. There's some tier 11s. But most of the whales have already researched everything up to tier 10. So to get one of those, to get whatever one tier 11 they want, they can get it like that. Right? And then they're going to be playing the tier 11s, and everyone else who hasn't got there, well, they're going to get stuff for free so they can be the cannon fodder. And the novelties, it's not going to last. Because if you introduce a full new tech tree, starting from, branching off at tier 4 and working all your way up to tier, then there's content. Then you can, the big whales will still free XP it right to tier 10 or 11. But most of the players will have new content to work through, and it takes some time. And they'll say, oh, I don't like the tier 5. The tier 6 was weak. The tier 7 was really good. I really like the gun on the tier 7. Then the tier 8 was a little disappointing, but boy, the tier 9's good, right? Then there's a lot. But what they've done is they've just parachuted in a tank, really powerful tier 11s. That'll be good. Let's do that. We'll just put a bunch of really powerful tanks in there that all the WCs can show you. Look, they can do 10,000 damage easy now with those. You got to get those. And everyone's going to get them like that, and they're going to play those. And it's going to be a shit show. They'll have fun at first because it's new. But that's not a lot of new content. And it was biggest update ever in history of the World of Tanks. Okay, if you want to describe it that way. Some other cosmetic things and other things. Fine. But it's short-sighted. It's basically pure power creep. That's all they've introduced is pure power creep. They've put in a more powerful tier, and they've buffed pretty much everything. So what do you think's going to happen? So that's why I'm negative, because what is it going to do? It's going to make the game worse. And that, if you want, without me going through all the mathematics again, it's just math. It's just the way it is. The bell curves, I explain it in the video with the super conquer in the thumbnail. Is it still super, I think was what it said? Is this... And you're going, of course, the super conquer will still be situationally good. Yeah, I know that. I'm not saying the super conquer will suck. I'm saying it's just pure power creep. That's all they've introduced into the game. And so it's going to be purely a bad update. Now, want me not to be negative? Not just be negative? Let me be positive. This would be a positive update, but no one will want it, including you. Right? This would be a good thing to do for the game, but none of you will, you'll all say, well, no, I can't do that. So I'm going to propose something that if they put it out to the player base, everyone would disagree with, so they can't do it. But mathematically, it would be the best thing to do. Okay? Because although they've added a map here and there, a few little maps, all the maps are pretty much the same maps that existed when the game started, when the tanks were this powerful. When the medium tank could only go 20. When the firepower was, 300 alpha was pretty good. The DPM was, there weren't field modifications, all this stuff. So the tanks could do a certain amount of damage in a certain amount of time and move at a certain speed, and the map was a certain size. And the game was developed and balanced around those parameters, and it was fairly balanced, and that's why it became a very popular game. The games were competitive and they were fun. Does that make sense? I'm giving them positive feedback now. The game was developed, it was really good. But then the maps stayed like this. They didn't really get bigger, except for a few. They tried this grand battle, but it never worked. The regular maps didn't really get bigger. But everything else increased in speed and power. So what that meant was that everyone could get to positions and shoot and churn through the opposition's HP way faster than before, because the map's not bigger and you know all those parameters are the same except for the power of all the tanks. So you churn through the HP and there's more and more and more lopsided blowouts and games that are decided in literally 45 seconds. So the average game length decreases, there's more blowouts, and it's in general, you know, using a sophisticated gaming term, it's more of a shit show. That's where we're at. So they chose to go more power creep. More powerful, bigger, stronger, faster. Buff everything. Ah! You will play. Okay? That's the opposite of what should have been done to make the game better. If they want to make the game better, what they needed to do was nerf everything. Make everything a little less powerful. And just across the board, even. Let me just make up numbers here. Now, these numbers probably won't work. You'd have to do testing and think about this, but think of, in general, what I'm saying. Make all the tanks 30% slower. All of them. Across the board. All of them. So that, you know, proportionally, the EBR is still the fastest. The mouse is still one of the slowest. But 30% slower. All of them. Lower the DPM on all the tanks by 30%, 40%, whatever. You know, pick a number that, through testing, if you lower it too much, then you'll get a lot of draws because you understand what I say? Mathematically, if you lower the DPM and the speed, if you lower it by 90%, then the tanks won't even be able to kill each other in time. The 15-minute game's over. Do you understand? But lower the DPM, the speed, without changing the maps. Do some testing so you lower it so the average game is not 3.5 minutes. So the average game is 9.5 minutes, 10 minutes. And that will mean that you'll feel more involved and it'll be more exciting. It goes down to the wire. What you do makes a difference. One mistake won't be the end of you. More close games, right? So nerf everything by whatever percentage is required to get so that the average game length gets the sweet spot. You can figure out what the sweet spot is. Maybe 10 minutes is too long. Maybe 8 minutes, you know, work at it. And then it's a competitive, fun game like it was 10 years ago, but with all the new tanks. And then if everything's nerfed, people will get over it. If, oh, my T1 Object 140 used to shoot every 4.9 seconds with all the field monitor and blah, 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 and the purple this and the purple that. And now it only shoots every 5.7 seconds. Fucking babies. If everything's nerfed equivalently, proportionally, then it'll still be one of the tanks with the fastest reloads. You'll still have the exact same characteristics, but it hasn't destroyed the freaking game. And I'm not saying the Object 140 destroys the game. Don't take it out of context. I'm saying that in general, the game will be more balanced. You're not destroying the game with power creep, which is what's happened. That's why new players that start, they start first grinding the game. They're not very good. They easily get to tier 8 and 9 now because of all the ways, I'm not going to describe them. But they're not very good. They roll out in their first tier 8 and 9. They make one mistake, they're dead. There's some Chinese rocket-boosted heavy tank that gets there and shoots them and does 980 damage. And then another tank shoots it and rolls 1105 and they're dead. GG. Oh, that was fun. I think I'll keep playing this game. So they're not going to get any new players. They're not going to get many of them. There's just the whales. And unfortunately, the people that have been playing for a long time, they want something bigger and better and stronger and faster. Thinking, oh, if I get something bigger, better, and stronger and faster, it'll be more fun than the bigger, better, stronger, faster thing I had last year. You see the treadmill that it's on? So the correct solution is to nerf everything, to rebalance it by moving everything down, as opposed to, they'll never fix it by changing the maps. They won't do that. They've been talking about that for 10 years. They're going to come up with a map a year, right? So, but is that a good idea? I get guaranteed there's most of you will say, well, no, I wouldn't like that. Oh, they'd have to change all the missions. Yeah, they just have to lower the numbers. That's all. If they did that, the game would be more balanced and it would be more fun and probably attract new players, but they're not interested in that. They are interested in, what are they interested in? Making money. And the whales are interested in paying money for new, bigger, stronger, faster things. New shiny objects. Just the way it is. It's human nature. But I am correct because my opinion on this, it's a no BS opinion, which is based on mathematics. It's not based on emotion. It's not based on what I think, what I think people want. It's just it's exactly what WarGaming did when they developed the game. They used mathematics to. Why do you think the tanks did the amount of damage they did, and went the speed they did, and had the view range they had, and the maps were the size that they were, and the games were 15 minutes long? Why do you think all those numbers? Why do you think it started like that? Why do you think they designed it and programmed it like that? Because they tested it very carefully and did a very good job in understanding, well, this will be a really balanced game. If the game gets to 14 minutes, it's usually going to be a 1v1 or 2 versus 1. It's enough time for the tanks to kill everyone, but it's not going to happen in the first 2-3 minutes. That would be stupid. They balanced it. They did it themselves in the beginning, and they've turned their back on that and now have power creeped the game into, that's why I don't take it seriously anymore. It's just a shit show. You just got to go look at the thumbnails from the WCs. Oh, look at me. I can do 10,000 damage in the new tank. It's so good. You should get one. Come on. Whereas 10 years ago, it was the Mighty Jingles. Let's do a 26-minute in-garage review of this Tier 2, because you might come across it and you'll have to learn the weak spots so you can handle it with your 30mm caliber gun with 15 pen. That's the difference. All right?